right, guys, this is In Search Of. I'm Dylan.
And I'm Matt.
And this is Haunted Ontario, where we go to haunted places, spooky locations. We try to get to the bottom of why they're haunted, why people think they're haunted, what they see, and if it is haunted or it's not. And today, we're at the Leacock home in Aurelia, Ontario, Canada.
Yeah, so guys, as Dylan said, we're at Stephen Leacock's summer home. Now, let me give you just a brief history of this place. So this place was actually constructed in 1928 by a firm in Toronto. It was an architecture firm. I don't know the name of the firm, but before that, Stephen and his wife lived down here by the water. They had a makeshift house, but they just kept on adding on to this house. Eventually, people said it looked like a bunch of train cars joined together. So the wife said to Stephen, we need a home here. So that's when they contacted that Toronto firm. And this is your design that they came up with, guys. This is an English design, I guess, like a chateau house. But it's very beautiful, and it looks very homey.
Now, today, it's actually owned by the city. It's a historical monument now.
Yeah. It's a historical site, guys.
It's a museum actually now that runs out of it. You can rent it out and do your own paranormal investigations like we intend to do. But
so with that said, guys, let's get right into the haunting. So this is said to be haunted mostly by Stephen Leacock's son. We're going to call him Stevie. They have the same name, so we'll just call little Stevie Stevie and big Stevie Stephen. So, but anyways, guys, Stevie was born in 1915 to Leacock and his wife Beatrix. Not long after that, I believe when Stevie was about 10, Beatrix died of breast cancer. And not long after that, they figured out that Stevie also had a growth hormone deficiency or something. So he never got past 5 foot tall.
And he had the appearance of a child throughout his
adulthood,
his whole adulthood. And some people think because of that, Stephen Leacock treated him like a childhood well into his adulthood, which leads us into how Stevie behaved. He was a bit of an eccentric, probably because of that, probably because of the money they had, along with a few other factors like the early passing of his mother. But Stevie was a character. He would do
off the wall things, guys.
Yeah.
There's a story of him once taking a cab all the way to Minnesota, just on a whim. As well as what do you do on Sundays, Dylan?
Every Sunday he would pay a cab to drive him from Aurelia to Toronto just to pick up the Toronto Sun. Now that's 1.5 to 2.5 hour drive just for a newspaper every Sunday. And I don't know if you've ever taken a 10-minute taxi ride. It's not cheap.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been cheaper in the 20s or the 30s or 40s, whenever he was doing this, but still, inflation, right? So it still would have been expensive, because I'm told that when he was taking that cab to Minnesota, he went to his drugstore and wanted prescriptions because he was going to take off for a while. When some woman overheard him saying something about taking a cab to Minnesota, she said, "Oh my God, that's so expensive." But it didn't really fizz him. I mean, he comes from money, right? Stephen Leacock, if anybody doesn't know, is a worldwide famous humorist, economist. He taught in universities, colleges, all around the world. So he had money. The family had money.
Now that's the tip of the iceberg for Stevie's strange, eccentric activities. There's tell of him shooting up his own house for no clear reason.
Shooting all the furniture.
All the furniture. He'd go out and shoot all of his boats at the point. We're at a point right now, it's called Brewery Bay, which was coined by Stephen Leacock.
Yeah, one day while he was out sailing, he discovered this piece of property, and there was an old brewery on it, so he coined it Brewery Bay.
And beyond that, he invited people over to his house only to excuse himself and moments later retrieve one of his guns and begin to shoot all the potted plants around his house. Probably scaring shit out of all these people who barely knew him and met him at a bar.
That's right. And at one point, guys, he literally barbecued a full goat inside that house with so much smoke that he had to open up all the bottom windows to let that smoke escape.
So a lot of people believe that when you get like an eccentric figure to the likes of Stevie Leacock, you end up with a haunting. Now, he didn't pass in Canada. He actually passed in the Bahamas, we believe.
Yeah, and there was no birth certificate ever seen from the guy. Nobody knows how he passed or why he
Death
passed.
certificate.
Or death certificate, guys. So, but it is fairly a good guess to say that he would come back here. This is where his mother was, and before she died, and his father also loved this place. This was a haven for Stephen Leacock, guys.
Now, Stephen himself loved Beatrix. He loved the home, and he went to great lengths to do things about it. Like, there's talk of renovations occurring in here where they removed a section of the wall to do electrical work, and they found stacks upon stacks of letters between him and his wife Beatrix.
Yeah. Yeah, he had put him into the wall and sealed it up because he mourned her so much. And also the back, behind the house, guys, there's a sunroom, and that is where the ghost of Beatrix is said to be. But that sunroom, all the time, Stephen Leacock would fill that full of these flowers. I'm not sure what kind of flower it was, but she loved a certain type of flower, and he would fill this on a daily basis, from what I'm hearing.
So people think she haunts the sunroom because of the way Stephen endeared himself to her and filled the room with the flowers. And then you have Stevie, who's said to haunt his own room. It's said to be the most haunted place in the Leacock home.
Yeah, Stevie is the most prevalent haunting in this place. There's stories from staff here that are saying that his bedroom door continuously slams and opens up, slams, opens up and slams continuously, guys.
That's the tip of the iceberg with the haunting stuff. There's talk of apparitions, shadow figures, people seeing things in the windows, other doors closing, chills. It's not open to sleep here, but I imagine if you did, you wouldn't get a good night's rest. And a lot of other paranormal teams have been here. They've been through with their own equipment and activity. Famous ones on television.
Yeah. Now, guys, it's up for interpretation on what you're going to see or what you're going to get when you get here. Like, everybody that comes through here might get different things. Somebody might see things that resemble Stevie. Other people might get Stephen Leacock himself. Others might see Beatrix in the sunroom. There's just all kinds of crazy hauntings that are reported to be here, guys. As well as, we're going to take you on a tour when we're done this, and we're going to show you the boathouse. And we are also told, it's only a replica of the boathouse, but we're told that that is also haunted, and there's spirits or ghosts seen visiting it.
All right, guys, I think we're ready for the tour. That's all we have to say about Stephen, Stevie, and Beatrix.
Yeah, so if you're going to follow us, we're going to walk down. We're going to chit-chat with you guys on the way, and we're going to take you down to the boathouse and maybe show you around the house itself, maybe show you the sunroom. But with that said, guys, follow us.
Now, this property is open to the public. You can see the signs for dog walking and everything like that. You can visit the museum. You can take your dogs for a walk, or you can have a picnic.
And in the summertime, guys, you see this beautiful lattice. This is all filled with vines, beautiful flowers, plants. It's a very beautiful place to come in the summertime if anybody just wants to come down here. And over here, if Paul just wants to zoom in by those benches, that is approximately where I'm told that the original house was that Stephen and Beatrix lived in. So, but let's go down to the boathouse, guys.
Now, Beatrix never actually stepped foot in the house you see today. She died at some point during the construction of the house.
That's right.
But they say that she's tied into it due to her attachment to the property, and they reused a lot of the construction materials from the original house when they built this one.
Yeah.
So
a lot of the wood from the old house, guys, was used in the construction of this current house that we see here today. As you can see, there's beautiful walkways for everybody. They really maintain this place. Now, another thing about Stevie, guys, he loved a good cigar and his whiskey. He also played the piano, and he was a very intelligent man. He was an expert in medieval history as well, guys.
now that lends me to believe he wasn't just shooting guns off. I imagine he had a bunch of replica medieval stuff.
He might have,
yeah,
guys. Who knows what he was doing in there? He might have been swinging swords.
We're gonna flash some pictures on the screen. You've probably already seen them, but
Yeah.
us telling you about his growth deficiency and everything doesn't do it justice. He
No.
somehow manages to look 40 and 12 at the same time late
Yeah,
into his years.
we'll add some pictures to this video, guys, when it's all complete and said and done. We're gonna give it to a friend of ours that does editing, and he's gonna edit this for YouTube, guys.
Now you can imagine we're mid-December now. None of the leaves are on the trees, but when you come here in the summer, this is full green foliage, waterfront.
Yeah, you would not see that boathouse that you can see in the distance here in the summertime. The foliage just takes it right over. Now, a lot of people come here, guys, in the summer. Even in the winter, they come here with their dogs, or they just come here to stand on the dock of this boathouse and relax. It's a very beautiful sight. Now, we're not intended to give anybody a history lesson or anything like that. This is a haunting, guys, but this boathouse is a part of the hauntings.
What do people claim to see at the boathouse again?
Just apparitions, man.
Yeah.
Apparitions they see. Maybe like figures in the window up top.
Yeah, they have an original photo of the boathouse
With him in his boat.
With him in his boat here.
Yeah.
Stephen, not Stevie, I believe.
Yeah, Stephen Leacock himself.
Yeah.
Is right here, guys. So this replica, I think, was built in 1995, according to this. But there's the original there, and there's Stephen Leacock himself. We will throw pictures of him up. We will also throw a picture of Beatrix and Stephen holding little Stevie.
Awesome. Boathouse, guys.
Oh, so let's go to the boathouse, guys. We're almost there now. And you'll see when we get here, these chairs that you're going to see here, they used to line them up on the main street of Aurelia every year.
Usually they do some sort of art project in the downtown area.
Yeah, some sort of a theme, guys. But here we are. This is the boathouse, guys. This is a replica of the boathouse as it was back in when Stephen Leacock himself occupied this property.
Now, we can't get inside the boathouse right now, or the house itself, but we were talking about renting out the museum itself for our own paranormal hunt, so check that out, guys.
Yeah, that'll be in the new year, guys. We're going to do a paranormal possibly here. Now, you really got to watch your footing here, guys, in the winter, because it is slippery. So come with me. So guys, if you can imagine, if you will, Stephen Leacock himself standing here. Maybe in that picture, his boat was like right here. And he loved to fish, Stephen Leacock. He loved to sail, all kinds of crazy stuff. So if I'm going to guess which spirit or ghost is going to come here, it's going to be Stephen himself, because he just loved his boating. He loved this area. And if you can see across the bay here, none of these houses would have been here back when he occupied this. So
it would have been all forest.
Yeah, it would have been just trees and grass. And what else? If Paul, if you want to put the camera over there, in the distance, guys, you can see the restaurant there. That is the part of the Leacock Center as well, the museum. That's possibly where you start your tours from. And yeah, and that's it, guys. So, man, I hope you guys enjoy this video. We love making them for you. This is episode 2 of Haunted Ontario. So
that's been In Search Of, and we'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, everybody. Peace out.